Welcome back to Kurtz Brothers in Avon, Ohio. If you recall, this past summer, we had the opportunity to plant these wonderful knockout coral roses. What we're going to attempt to do today is to show you a few tips and tricks as to prepare them for the spring. We're going to do a little pre-winter pruning, if you will. The nice thing about the knockout rose is that you can prune them year-round to induce blooming, but we can also prune them during these cold winter days to allow all energy to go back to the root system and produce a beautiful, beautiful plant next spring. Okay, so let's get started. What I'd like to do is do some selective pruning on one of the roses so that you get an idea of what you can do throughout the year without having to worry too much, especially the knockout roses. What I like to do is I go to the lateral on the branch, which is this Y right here, and there's two ways to handle this. You can cut down below that Y, just like that, which will induce new growth, okay? Ideally, you really should take only the top third. So if you look at this, you'll see where this is brownish and green. So what we're going to do right at that point on a 45-degree angle is take that top. So what that does is induces new growth from the lateral branches, so on and so forth. The selective pruning with the pruner is probably a great way to go if you have a lot of time on your hands. But what we're going to do is we're going to show you another method with hand shears that basically will do the same thing. We're able to use this particular type of tool because the branches are smaller branches. When you get into the thicker branches, like the bottom here, it's not an ideal situation. So with that being said, I'm going to give you a demonstration as to how these shears work. Very sharp, very easy to maneuver. What we like to do is we always want to prune towards the sun to allow light to get in. In the winter it doesn't matter so much, but in the spring it will. So pretty much what I do is I start at the top of the head, and I'm going to prune around on an angle. Everything's on an angle. It allows the light to get down into the plant. And this is an ideal height right here. So what's going to happen here now, we're forcing energy down into the root system, but in the same motion, these leaves will begin to drop, and then we'll start to set bud for next spring. So what's going to happen, we'll have a full plant, completely a full plant, when Mother Nature allows spring to return to northern Ohio. Now here's what you don't want to do. A lot of people think that you have to give a haircut and give it a flat top. That's what we don't want, okay? And this is what you don't want to do. What you've done, you literally created what I call the top of the mountain, okay? So now we're allowing light, and not so much light, we're allowing all these lateral branches, this will allow this to grow straight up, okay? And then all of this will grow straight up. The ideal situation is to get this conical formation, especially with the knockouts. And that what will happen with this is that this will flush out wider. They won't have the height that this will have first thing in the spring. Not a total disaster if you do this a couple times, but don't make it a practice. So we'll continue here, pruning these out. 45-degree angle, open up to the sun. Once again, you can do the selective pruning with your hand pruners. In this instance, because it's a new planting, we just want to make sure that we're getting everything ready for the spring. And of course, if you joined us when we planted these, we had a vision, and that vision is for all these roses to form a large mound of plentiful color and foliage. And that's why we're doing this right now. It's very important for us to establish these plants. Okay, so I'm cleaning up a little bit here. Remember, all these clippings that are coming off these roses can be used for compost. You can put them at curbside, bring them to Kurtz Brothers. we compost all this product, and you can as well. So let's finish up here. This one's a little heavier, so we have to get into that top edge just like that. Perfect. Okay. So we're concluding here with our pruning of our knockout roses. I'd like to invite you back in the spring. We've got some plans for this bed to spruce it up, and we'd love to see you back. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for tips, tricks, and DIYs.